Blood of Zeus, formerly known as Gods and Heroes, is an American adult animation original series for Netflix. The series premiered on Netflix on October 27, 2020 with a first season of 8 episodes. The formula for the show is that anything to do with Greek gods is one of Zeus's illegitimate sons must face his destiny and save Olympus and the world. The series has a perfect score of 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. The series has also been renewed for a second and third season. Little is known when the next season will premiere. Now let's get into the story to the Blood of Zeus. The story begins with demons are being chased by a Grand Archon, Alexia. They escape capture by going into a small village. We join our hero Hera as he is shunned and cheated out of money due to him being a bastard child. As he returns to his mother Electra in disappointment, they see people of the village run in fear. Hera goes to check it out and sees Alexia telling the village not to fear her, saying that demons have no mercy and they will kill you. Hera finds the family friend Elias bleeding out. Hera helps him back up, stating that he's old but he's not dead yet, because Elias wants to be left behind. Hera goes to find his mother some water so he can clean Elias's wound. Hera sees a woman that appears to be unconscious. He goes to help her, but to his horror, she is torn in half. Then is attacked by one of the demons. Alexia saves him by impaling the demon. The demon tried to escape disguised as a human, but Alexia finds him. She proves to the village that the demons exist. Before it's beheaded, it says to either convert or die. Elias tells the story of the great war of the giants. When the gods defeated the titans, their blood spilled and cursed the gods, forming the giants. The gods battled hard and each side has its casualties. Zeus convinced 2 of the giants on his side to help defeat the other giants. Hermes gathered their souls and put them into the grand automaton built by Hephaestus, while their bodies of the giants were forever washed away into the ocean. Zeus instructed Talos to watch over the grand automaton. Time passed and one of the giants' body washed ashore. It was discovered by a man just by touching the giant's mind and was already corrupted, and convinced others to join him and swore allegiance to the giants. The demons were created by devouring giants' flesh. Hera asks why would the gods allow this, and Elias states that humanity is at its greatest standing on its own. Alexia finds a map to where the demon's next attack will be and asks Hera to join her, but he refused. Later, the men of the village came to test Hera's mother because ever since she came to the village, a dark cloud showers the village. Hera tries to fight them, but they overpower him. To save him, his mother burns herself. Elias tells him to climb to the top of the mountain and find a special ore that will make him a powerful weapon. When Hera leaves, the god of war Ares finds Elias revealing to be Zeus himself, believing that Hera will lead the human race to the birthright of the earth. Hera had a dream of his past when his mother was giving birth to him, but he was the second to be born. The king tries to kill him, but Zeus saved him disguised as an eagle. Hera tells Elias about the dream and the 2 winged horses meeting in the middle. Elias tells him that it's the dreams of Corinth. Elias then exposits there are 3 Onorone that rules over sleeps and dreams. Hera then confronts Electra, asking her for her past. She then contests she had an arranged marriage with the king, but she then caught the eye of Zeus, and then disguised himself as the king and have relations with her. Zeus then saves them, both from the king's wrath, and sends it to the village and shrouds it with a dark cloud, so they both can be safe from Zeus's wife, Hera. Elias then reveals himself to be Zeus. He is called a coward for letting his mother live the life that she's been living. Zeus asks Hera for forgiveness, but is told that he may never wants to see him again. Alexia finds a map within a map. The demons find him. Alexa manages to escape, but she is chased by a 3-headed dog. Hera finds out about Zeus's bastard child. They both argue and he says that he loves Electra. Hera wants them both killed, but Zeus will not let that happen. Zeus tells her to cease, but she is fed up with his infidelity. Hera leaves and then Heron's village becomes under attack. Alexia and Hera fight the 3-headed dog and manage to cut off one of its heads. Hera uses the mines to cover their escape to look for Electra. Zeus observes the situation and sees the demons terrorizing the village. The demon's leader, Seraphim, states that he wants to speak with the nobles, and by doing so, he will spare the family and the lands. Aratus Theonis comes out and Seraphim recognize him. Aratus knows him that he was one of the ones that caused injury to his left eye and kills the nobles. They picked Alexia's scent, and Seraphim kills Aratus. Hera finds out Zeus is bending the rules to help Hera, so she does the same by bending the rules so she can have Hera killed. Hera takes over the other gods with her, Zeus knowing that her life is in the fate's hands. Zeus then declares war on Hera. Seraphim finds Electra demanding the location of Alexia. She says that she doesn't know. Hera comes in the fight but he's defeated. Seraphim kills Electra and kidnaps Hera. Alexia sees a trail of blood of bodies. Meanwhile, Elias finds Electra's body dead. Hermes brings Electra's body to the river Styx to cross over to the afterlife. Hera wakes up with other prisoners stating that Seraphim has found Alexa, but it wasn't Alexa, it was Hera in disguise. She wants an alliance in order to get revenge against Zeus. In exchange, he can kill as many nobles as he wants. She reveals his origin, that he was the firstborn of the king, but the king was killed, and the uncle tried to murder him and take the throne. However, a servant named Iona saved Seraphim, but it was short-lived, and she was killed afterwards. Angry, Seraphim trains and tracks down and kills the person that murdered Arena. As he tries to get away from the guards, he comes across a cave with a body of a giant and tastes his flesh that transforms him into a demon. He kills the guards, but the other three remain and swore allegiance to him. Hera tells Seraphim that he should have been king, that if it was Zeus' fault on the way his life is now. She also revealed that he killed his own mother, Electra. Alexia meets up with her mentor, Chiron, and shows at the map where the giants remains. Chiron reads it and states that her enemy is not too far behind, if she knows of this information. Seraphim then shows up. Chiron says that he came a few minutes before her and he did not want to put his people in danger. Chiron tried to save Alexia, but Seraphim leaves him with a choice: the safety of Alexa or his people. He probably made the choice to save his people. Hera wants Seraphim to retrieve the sword that Hera threw away in an earlier episode. Back in prison, Hera asks two prisoners by the name of Coffee and Avos to cause a diversion to steal a set of keys to escape and take over the ship. Zeus and Hermes figure out that Hera is in alliance with Seraphim. Seraphim tries to kill Hera. Zeus states that Hera is not ready to face Seraphim, so he strikes the boat with lightning, destroying it. The other gods witness Zeus breaking the rules yet again. Hera and the others figure out that the gods have joined the fight. Later, Seraphim meets Hera, saying that she left out the part that Hera is being protected by a god. Hera makes a deal with him that he can find the location of his uncle. All he needs to do is get the cauldron of darkness. Zeus tells Hera that he's the key to the war and wants to help. Zeus then takes Hera to the Olympus to train, but is unwelcomed by the other gods. But there are two gods that welcome him in open arms, Apollo and Artemis. Hera comes in furious that Zeus brought Hera there. Zeus says that having him training for the way is to fix things that he messed up. Hera takes the other gods and leaves Olympus, saying that Zeus is a fool for angering Hera. During training, Hera loses fight after fight to see if he has divine power. Zeus tells Hera that just strength and anger won't help him in a fight. Zeus also admits that he's a terrible father, and he states that he learned from his father, but worse, his father tried to kill him. He then advises Hera to hide his anger inward. Hera asks Zeus why he didn't save his mother, but let Seraphim live. Zeus conveniently tells him that he is sometimes powerless. Besides, Electra wouldn't want it since Seraphim is her son too, so that means Hera and Seraphim are half brothers. Alexia gets a copy of a map from Chiron so they can enter Meladonia, thought of fields of death. The gods in Olympus are informed that Hera is in the underworld ruled by Hades, but he remains neutral. Hera wants to know if there's a way to save Seraphim. Zeus says there is, but he will have to make his own choice. Hera then meets with the Fates, and he gives a speech about the free will and the fate can coexist. The Fates then shows Hera that Alexia and his friends dies in battle, so Hera heads out to help. Zeus then finds Seraphim. He tries to reason with him by giving him the information that he needed for free, other than going through Hera's trials and tribulations. Alexia and Chiron make it to the fields of the dead, and they are both attacked by a satyr, but Hera comes in and kills it with an arrow. Seraphim finds Acrisius, and he is scolded by Acrisius, but then he kills him by bashing his body to pieces. Alexia and the others navigate a labyrinth and to find the remains, but the remains have been moved. Seraphim then appears to Hera and begs him to join them to take revenge on the gods for messing with their lives, but Hera does not join them. The two begin to fight. During the destruction around them, the group manages to escape to Olympus. Hera is enraged and she talks to Seraphim and tells him to do what she told him to do the first time, but she then figures out that Hermes is following her, and she then injures him greatly. Ares was going to do a killing blow to Hermes until Apollo saves them. He then sacrifices himself, then Ares kills him. Seraphim gets the cauldron of darkness and release the giant spirits, and they return to their bodies and they head to the land to destroy the world. Zeus was stabbed by Hera in the previous episode disguised as Hermes as they try to stop the bleeding. Poseidon joined Hera earlier in the series, and he comes back with Apollo's body. He says that Hera's gone too far, but Zeus says that the reason why he came back is because Hera offered the giants his sea. Hera comes up with a plan to go in first. knowing that Hera will see any other god coming from a mile away. She would not expect it. The fight starts as everyone fights over the cauldron that Hera holds to control the giants. Zeus and Hera strike each other and the cauldron falls out of her hands. Zeus begs her to stop, but she refuses. Hera is almost torn to pieces by the leader of the giants until Zeus saves her, but they're both then captured. Hera briefly gets the cauldron, but Seraphon catches up and takes it from him. He then commands all the giants to go after the gods. Hera briefly possesses the cauldron, but Seraphim takes it again, but then one of his friends manages to knock it out of Seraphim's hand and heads towards the ground. Seraphim and Hera begin to fight, and Seraphim manages to get the upper hand on Hera until Zeus reminds him of the words he told him earlier while training. He then lets go and his divine power activates and defeats Seraphim. Weeks later, Hera wakes up to find out that Zeus is proud of him and they're fixing Olympus up. Seraphim then wakes up and he meets Hades. He wants his revenge, but Hades asks him to do one thing: to bow to him. Blood of Zeus is your average story of Zeus can't keep his dick in his pants. Every time he sniffs the air of a mortal woman, hell, all the gods have that urge to mate with mortals in certain mythologies or how they depict it in certain media. But I think it's safe to say that Hera is the only one that hasn't stepped out on Zeus. But in the stories, they are brother and sister. So you can argue why Zeus and the other gods will step out with mortals. Hera is a prime example of a woman who is sick and tired of Zeus's infidelity for millennia. And this seems to be going on time and time, or on or after Hercules, because she had it out for him since day one and have never left him alone. Hera and Seraphim are just a conduit of Zeus's infidelity and have to fight to the death. One wants to save the world and the other one wants to revenge on the gods. Because who are they to make people's lives live in hell? I figured that whatever disagreements y'all have, just keep it on Mount Olympus. Don't contradict your saying that humanity needs to carry its own self if you constantly get involved with mortals and then destiny changes with demigods roam the free world. Anyway, this show isn't okay, but it leaves below the classic Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, and Xena Warrior Princess. If you haven't seen them yet, I will highly suggest you do. Hell, even young Hercules, how short-lived that was, pretty decent. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys for watching and see you all next time.